in our refusal to acknowledge what we are comprised of as human beings, we start to look for other things to try to make sense of it. Or we look for other things to make sense of it because we very well do know what we're comprised of, but we don't like what we found, so we look for other things to blame.
I am 50% pointer. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
We blame guns, we blame money, we blame sex, we blame television, cartoons, movies, video games. We blame food for people with eating disorders. We blame access to, or having access to social media. We blame that too, and the list never ends. Trying to deny innate traits in mankind. I meant them kind or they kind, because you know we're not allowed to say man or woman or boy or girl no more. We got to say they, them. But anyway, innate traits that some may call the 7 deadly sins. And I wanted to deal with one of those in particular. Greed. There's a character by the name of Syndrome. The development of Syndrome is a good example of the kind of people I want to talk about.
Cool, ready for takeoff.
What the? Who are you supposed to be?
Well, I'm Incrediboy.
What? But this
No, you don't have to worry about training me. I know all your moves, your crime-fighting style, favorite catchphrases, everything. I am your #1 fan. Hey, wait!
Syndrome was someone who was a reject, deemed unworthy, and even a weirdo.
Monsieur Incroyable!
And Incrediboy!
Incredible?
Hey, aren't you curious about how I get around so fast? See, I have these rocket boots.
Go
They're
home,
made-
buddy.
What?
Now.
Damn it, I am your ward. Incrediboy!
And now you have officially carried it too far, buddy.
Oh! This is because I don't have powers, isn't it? Well, not every superhero has powers, you know. You can be super without them. I invented these. I can fly. Can you fly?
Fly home, buddy. I work alone.
Oui, et ta tenue est complètement ridicule!
But he wanted to be great, and part of the cool crowd. Syndrome is the kind of people I'll be talking about. People who are under the impression that capitalism needs to go and is responsible for all of the world's ills, or what's innate in mankind. Syndrome grew up.
Syndrome will save the day! I'll be a bigger hero than you ever were.
You mean you killed off real heroes so that you could pretend to be one?
Oh, I'm real. Real enough to defeat you! And I did it without your precious gifts, your oh-so-special powers. I'll give them heroics. I'll give them the most spectacular heroics anyone's ever seen! And when I'm old and I've had my fun, I'll sell my inventions so that everyone can be superheroes. Everyone can be super! And when everyone's super... no one will be.
Make everybody the same thing, and the result is nobody is nothing. Socialism in a nutshell. That is what anti-capitalists think that they want for everybody. Where we're all the same, where we're all of the same status. Meanwhile, you'll have Syndrome or the state with everything. Now, I've been locked up a few times. I meant more than a few times. And there are many things that go on in there that are exactly like out here in the world. Why? Those innate traits.
Cash money is illegal, and any item not purchased from the prison store is contraband. So bags of instant coffee and candy are the money in the underground economy. The old rules that govern exactly how business is transacted in the penitentiary are as precise as NASDAQ.
Man said, how about I just rob you? Like, taking it sounds good to me. How about that? Like, that's what he said. You heard him. People who have been made equal, but still those innate traits. They all got the same clothes on and everything. They all live in the same place and all that, but still those innate traits.
Got some gas. I got some gas.
You got some money? Yeah, I got some money. It smell like bell.
Come on now, don't get your nose all in me. What you want to do?
I ain't finna just buy this shit, man.
I'm telling you some gas. What you want to do?
JG, that's my righteous dog.
Yeah, bullshit, man. Where did all the cup at?
Huh?
Sonny, give me that cup.
I'm just gonna buy your shit.
It's like he's like the older brother that I never had.
Yeah. If you don't, hey, look, you ain't gonna just be drinking my whiskey, right? That's all you getting now.
JG loved to get his boys hooked on whatever.
That's gas, ain't it?
And just as quick, snatch it away.
Taste it, get robbed.
No, you ain't finna
rob.
rob.
We all right, man. Ain't no robbing here, bro.
They give me 10.
I tell you what.
Nah, I don't want no shit now. Now you owe me 10 bad now.
Give me this.
You gonna be break even. Long as you get that from my homeboy, he's straight.
When that person might feel like, no, that's not me or whatever, then I cut him off. I cut his supply off.
I know about that. All that stuff you saw that dude with, I know about that. The ones of you who don't know about that, where you would see value in a drawer full of candy and other stuff, good for you. It's a good thing that you don't know about that. It's a good thing for you. It's a bad thing for me that I do, though. But even while locked up, you still have those who will want more than others. Same thing out here. Socialism, getting rid of capitalism, it won't change that. Marxism, you'll still have a hierarchy. But there are people who foolishly believe that a system is what makes people greedy. But not everybody that's in jail engages in the activities that I showed you. Just like out here, not everybody engages. You saw the dudes though. One thought that he should have more than others, and the other who thought that he should take it from him.
Anyways, back to the postmodern types. Well, this all was revealed in such painful detail that even the kind of closed-minded ideologue that Norman referred to just couldn't quite muster up the moral courage to keep beating the same damn drum. So what they did instead, being highly intelligent individuals, was play a game of sleight of hand and transformed these Marxist presuppositions into postmodernism in the 1970s. And the idea basically was, well, the working class isn't going to rise up and crush the bourgeoisie because, first of all, they're getting rich, and that wasn't supposed to happen. And second, well, it sort of seemed to be a catastrophe when that occurred, let's say, in Russia. And so maybe we won't do that anymore because the working class actually isn't buying into this either, which is also a problem. Having internalized their own oppression, they wouldn't buy into this, to the global myth of utopia. So maybe it's because they had some sense. It's certainly possible. But anyways, the sleight of hand was, oh, well, fine, we'll just play a different oppressor versus oppressed game, and we'll introduce identity politics. It's like, okay, you're not being oppressed because you're a member of the working class. You're being oppressed because you're a woman. Or you're being oppressed because you have an ethnicity that's outside the main paradigm, whatever that might be, or it's because of your sexual preference or your sexual identity, whatever places you in some manner outside the normative culture. And the thing is, the postmodernists, you might think, well, your culture is good for something. It gives you a hierarchy of value. It rewards competent people. It gives you a direction so you can climb up, because otherwise everything's leveled to nothing, and then why do anything? Well, they don't care about any of that. They don't believe that there's any such thing as competence. They don't believe that there's any such thing as up. This is all, postmodernism wipes all of that out. And so when the postmodernists analyze a text, all they care about is how it privileges the position of the author and who it oppresses. And that's the only thing they regard as real. And they don't believe in grand unifying narratives. They don't believe that there's a Canadian identity. They don't believe that there's an American identity. They don't believe that there's a Western identity. They don't believe that value structures exist, or if they are, they're irreplaceable with some other value structure. They certainly don't believe that they have any biological grounding, that there's any such thing as a human being. It's all socially constructed, which is really convenient if what you want to do is be the author of an entirely social constructed utopia that you can run. And then when the Marxists say, well, that wasn't real Marxism, what it really means, and I've thought about this for a long time, it's the most arrogant possible statement anyone could ever make. It means, if I would have been in Stalin's position, I would have ushered in the damn utopia instead of the genocidal massacres, because I understand the doctrine of Marxism and everything about me is good. It's like, well, think again, sunshine. You don't understand it. You don't understand it. And you're not that good. And if the power was in your hands, assuming you had the competence, which you don't, you wouldn't have done any better. And even if you had, there would have been someone else waiting right behind you to shoot you the first time you actually tried to do anything good. And that's what happened to all the old guard who ran the damn revolution. Stalin rounded them all up and shot them, along with their families and millions of other people. So even if you do happen to be that avatar of moral purity that you claim implicitly, the probability that you'd get to act out your goodness in relationship to those possessed by your ideology is zero.
The anti-capitalist people talk like capitalism is like Cain, the one who committed the first sin on earth, the originator of murder. They talk like greed didn't come into the world until after capitalism got here. And we could rid the world of greed if we could get rid of capitalism. But if the Marxists get their way and they actually get to usher in their Marxism, they will see the value in peppermint sticks and cookies and potato chips and other junk. Because that's what socialism will bring. Meanwhile, the warden and the guards and the other prison staff, they'll get to eat steaks and lobsters and whatever else they want to eat. White people who appear to be being used as the primary liaison to get to Marxism. You know, blame the white privilege, blame white supremacy thing that people have been led to believe in. They are the ones that people are looking at to say everybody needs to be equal to them, white people. You know, this diversity, equity, inclusion thing that people are hollering about. Well, if the anti-capitalists get their way, we will be equal to white people. We will be equal as a motherfucker.
The hustling part is because people don't have any money. This is how the game works. I ain't got no means of money. I got a box full of candy back there. Cookies, zuzus, and wham-whams is what they call it. I'm going to loan it to another inmate. I'll let you get a pack of cookies for 2 packs back next week. If a man borrows too much stuff, it gets too far in debt. Either you fight for it and let him know, I'm not going to pay you, so me and you just going to have to whoop each other's ass and we're going to go to lockup, or we're going to go back here and fuck, just ever how you want to do it. That's the way it works.